Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Sniper Elite 5 in depth, where today we will be looking at the game's default pistol, the Colt 1911. The 1911 was designed by John Moses Browning, who also goes by the name of Firearms God, and was adopted as the US standard service pistol in 1911. The weapon would remain the official service pistol until 1986, when it was replaced by the Beretta 92 FS. However, some US Special Forces groups, the USMC and the US Navy all still use the 1911 in decent numbers, making it the longest continually serving weapon in the world. The 1911 has been the standard for automatic pistol design since its inception, and is popular today with civilians, target shooters and police forces alike. In-game, the 1911 is the default pistol and comes equipped from the start with a suppressor. The 1911's advantages are numerous, with it being the fastest firing pistol in the game, which, when coupled with the weapon's excellent stopping power, makes it a very deadly choice. The weapon's vertical recoil control and time to aim are also very good. The weapon is a decent panic gun, as its aim down sights time is surprisingly good. However, the 1911 is not without its flaws. The weapon's range is poor, and its muzzle velocity slower than an elderly couple in a high-end II-10. Its reload time is lengthy, and the magazine is very shallow, which can be an issue when dealing with larger groups of enemies. The 1911 is also inaccurate and suffers from high recoil, which can make landing continuous shots a little bit tricky. And to top it off, the 1911 is tied with the Webley for being the noisiest handgun in the game. Without modifications, the 1911 is a good weapon for dealing with small groups of enemies at close range, and it works admirably well as a panic secondary for use when your submachine gun runs dry. The 1911's accuracy is a letdown, however, which is a real issue when paired with its woeful range. It is noisy as well, which doesn't make it an excellent fit for stealth without extensive modifications. Now I want to go through some custom attachment combinations I have for the 1911. The first combo is a stealth setup, designed to build on the initial silence setup by changing literally everything about it. For my ammunition, I took subsonic because it's a stealth build, and soft point for increased damage if necessary. The adapted PU scope allows for an extra bit of precision, and the modified M27 suppressor decreases noise drastically. The 12-round extended magazine rectifies the 1911's capacity issues, and makes it easier to take down two enemies at once. The 712S stock makes the gun less accurate, but crucially increases stability, which makes scope use easier. I also used Aim Tape X6 to further increase stability, and the 2-2 stealth conversion to reduce noise further. This setup allows the 1911 to be used effectively at up to medium ranges, whilst having an audible range of just 19 meters without subsonic rounds. Whilst the weapon is overall slower due to the stock, it is much more stable, which really helps. A word of caution to anyone who uses this setup, however, the 2-2 conversion means that the gun struggles to penetrate helmets, so going for multiple body shots on helmet-wearing troops is the best option, hence the extended magazines. The other setup I have made is one designed for pure damage above everything else. I used match grade rounds because I couldn't think of anything better to do, and because I already had soft point rounds that take the damage of this setup up to a preposterous 150 points, which is not only more than a Webley, but it's also more than a Car 98K. As you probably guess, I used the overpressure barrel, overpressure magazine and overpressure receiver to do a ridiculous amount of damage. Of course, these all ruin my accuracy and range, so I used the flared hider to increase muzzle velocity and decrease vertical recoil. Finally, the quick draw grip improves my handling times. This setup just flat up should not be allowed. The ability to do 150 damage with a pistol is ridiculous. especially when you remember that the 1911 has a positively bonkers fire rate. Yes, you can't hit the broadside of a barn or indeed the broadside of an aircraft carrier with this build, but that doesn't matter when your one pistol can do more damage to the Nazis with one shot than the entirety of the Allied forces did in 6 years. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. It costs you nothing and it's a great way to help out the channel. Stay safe and goodbye.